Right, and welcome back to Sunrise Daily. You were talking about a particular case of a Nigerian.
Yeah,
Could you go
Nigerian
ahead?
doctor is a lecturer. He's been detained in Miami now. They wanted to deny him entry into the U.S. after staying there for 7 years. He only came home to come and do something. He's been there for 27 years. The families are there. Everything has been done in the U.S. The man is refusing. They said he should go there. Now they're asking him, okay, why is it that you have a green card but you don't have a citizenship something? The guy said, yes, because I have a country. I said, I don't need your citizenship thing. I can just make do with because I work here. And now they ask him, okay, well, they now ask them, what is my offense? You know what they told him? They told him, well, when we get to court, we will disclose the offense. Does that sound well? Is that normal? These are ongoing cases there right now. I spoke with somebody at 3 a.m. this morning before I came here.
Is this deteriorating to a level of victimization of immigrants?
Somehow. But what I think is happening is that there's confusion in that place right now. There's confusion in the U.S. right now because the president keeps on going back and forth. You know, every other day is flying one kite or the other. You're engaging in lose war with people fighting both real and imaginary enemies. And then the immigration officers or some of these people are taking advantage of that and executing whatever agenda they had before.
But you know, there are those who will say this is more, routine check. And then they ask, maybe we should also ask you, do you think we should have any cause to be overtly concerned if they say, look, this is a routine check, it happens time and again?
But it wasn't as bad as this before. I know that normally when you get to those points, they ask you questions. I've traveled all over the world, and I know how it is done. When you go to America, you go there to spend your money. You don't get there to get paid for anything. Like for instance, if I am going there, I'm going to spend like a month, I usually send money to the hotel to pay for the whole time. And when you go and do shopping, maybe you are spending like $5,000-$6,000 to buy things for your children and whatever. Right now, if I go again, I won't do such a thing. So you spend money there. Averagely, when you calculate it, for some medicals and everything, you are spending like between $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. So, and imagine if 200 people spend that amount of money in a year, what does it amount to, or 2 or 3 times in a year?
It turns out that that's not the only consideration that's required now. But Dabiri released a statement yesterday as well about this particular matter. So that statement where she did say that, there you go, it's all there.
And it's very clear. It says in the last few weeks, the office has received a few cases of Nigerians with valid multiple entry U.S. visas being denied entry and sent back to Nigeria. In such cases reported to the office, such affected persons were sent back immediately on the next available flight and their visas were cancelled. And that's what the senior special assistant to the president on diaspora, Dabiri.
But she didn't go down. She went on to say that if you've got no
serious reason to be
serious, so just stay away.
I think it's very proactive of her.
Now there's a second part to that also, that even after that happens, such persons should wait until the Nigerian government is clear on its policies and it's clear on its immigration policy.
The U.S. government.
The
U.S.
When Nigeria is also clear on its immigration policies, how will that affect the relationship and protect those who travel now?
Yeah, what she's saying, what the senior special assistant to the president is saying is that if you must travel to the U.S., you must know exactly why you are going there. Personally, me, I go most of the time, 99% of the time, I go there for medical checkups. Sometimes your doctor here will tell you something, and by the time you get there, you find out that it is zero. You know, that is one thing. There are some people, they call them economic migrants. If you are going there for the purpose of going to start a job or doing some jobs, it might be difficult. But if you are going there maybe 2-3 weeks, I think one thing is that they want to be sure that you come to the country and go back to where you are going to. If there's a real reason, major purpose is very important in this matter. Why are you coming to the US? Because they actually will ask you, what are you coming to do in the US?
But people go there with a lot of genuine reasons, as you mentioned.
Some go there with the genuine reasons. But you see, wherever Nigerians are, some people have the tendency to think that this guy is making up something.
Why is that?
Yeah, because, because here, what you read in papers, what you see people doing is you are talking about corruption here, you are talking about dishonesty here, you are talking about this thing. So it has become a thing that when you see in Nigeria anywhere, you have to watch carefully. And I'm sure I will not be too surprised if they are singling out Nigerians for this type of thing.
Why would they do that?
Even if you go to the US, sometimes you see some Nigerians the way they behave there. You see, these are, when you go to another man's country, it has taken time to build their country. Allow them to run the country they want to run. If you go there at all, be like a loyal or obedient visitor and then do whatever you want to do and leave.
That's a subtle message. We need to build our country.
Yeah, we need to build our country. That is a very important thing. That's where I was coming to. If you build this country, we have a lot of things in this country. Why would somebody go there and become subservient to another person? Why would they start asking you questions? For me, if I want to go for a week or two, I go there, I don't stay extra. Unless I want to cut it down. Because there's no point. There's no point. In those days when we were at school, it was not fascinating to me to go to America. I said, for what? There was no reason. Even at that, I had no reason.
So this is a call, for instance, to look inward for Nigerians. And
yes,
let's begin
it's
to
good for our leaders
to
build this, for all of us. The children, the youth, the leaders, the politicians who are busy stashing money in their pockets to think, to think back and say, this is a country that God has given to us. We have all the natural resources, but we are not using them properly. And then we need to build our country.
And the thing about that is, you say, she also said, if you don't have any genuine and cogent reason. But that genuine and cogent reason, whatever it is going to be determined by the immigration person at the airport there. So
no, it's not really. If you want to take, now, to go to America now, you need, your ticket will be like a million naira. So before you go and spend a million naira for a ticket, you must have a good reason. But I will tell you that...
Yeah, but the guys that have been turned back, they all had good reasons from their own perspective.
Yeah, somebody going to visit, somebody going to do this, somebody going to do that. But you see, sometimes they read ulterior motives to whatever you are doing. That's why I said, it is apparent that they are singling out Nigerians for double check, if you want me to put it like that. You understand? Usually when you are going there, anywhere in the world, they ask you, what's your purpose of visit? If you say you are going for something or you are a student, you show them evidence, you show everything. Even in India and everything, I've been to all these places, they ask you questions. But for them now to single you out to say, come here, and then they start searching you, even looking at your phone, I think that they are going beyond their bounds. Even in Nigeria here, when they said the IG actually brought notice one time that policemen should not be searching phones. Because those policemen were searching phones, people's phones, because they said they were looking for Yahoo boys, and then they were taking money from them. So if you go to the US now, then you become an ordinary person, you become somebody they can toss around. Yeah, it is not funny.
Well, let's see what, the chaps at Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, they usually look into this kind of matters time and again. Well, Professor Dabiri-Erewa joins us on the line this morning. Let's see, let's get his perspective on this particular matter as well. Good morning, Prof, and thank you for joining us today. Well, you've been keeping tabs.
Thank you.
You've been keeping tabs on this executive order, the first one, the second one, and these cases of Nigerians who were being turned back at the point of entry. What do you think of it?
Well, it is important for people traveling the world over to know the meaning of a passport and a visa. They do not mean the same thing. A passport given by an issuing authority is a recommendation, all right? that the holder of the passport, to an extent, is a citizen of the issuing authority and is not pleading with the country to which the passport will be presented, that he or she should be treated very well. Now, that is a recommendation on the part of the issuing authority. Now, a visa is an agreement, is an acceptance that the holder of the passport, on the basis of the recommendation of his country, of the issuing authority, all right, will be accepted, but subject to the rules, the respect for the rules of the host country, the country to which the holder will be going. Now, the mere fact that someone is holding a passport with a valid visa does not necessarily mean automatic admission. No, it is still subject to the whims and caprices of the host immigration officer. If, for instance, whoever is traveling is not able to convince the considering immigration officer, if, for instance, there has been a change in situation, because when you apply for visa, you will declare the purpose of visit, you will give some information. But the immigration officer will also ask you the same question. If they are saying discrepancy, now they will reject, they will repatriate under the principle of refoulement. Now, within the framework of the new executive order of Donald Trump has made it clear that his administration will engage in profiling of profiling in this case, technical meaning. But ordinarily, it simply means that who are you? Where are you coming from? Where are you going to? And for what? Now, the threat of international terrorism, they believe that by harassing everybody, they can make America great again. They believe that America should remain what it used to be. It's for this profiling. Consequently, my take on it is that, look, it is not a surprise. Donald Trump said he will do that one. He came up with the first series of executive orders, but the law court banned them, dismissed them. Now he restrategized to now present a new argument that if a visitor has any pointer to criminal activities, such visitor will not be allowed. But right, when we look at the fact that Nigerians have valid visas, the government can establish that they have criminal records or they engage in drugs, they will be right. But without that, if there is nothing to suggest that they have engaged on that, government will fight back. Government will take the matter up diplomatically. That is my take.
Thank you very much indeed, Professor Dabiri-Erewa, for talking to us today on the program. Well,
like what Prof has said,
yeah,
the government should take it up. Like the case of the lecturer in Miami. What's I learned now is that usually once you get to the airport, you are in American territory. But what the Donald Trump regime is saying now is that when you are at the airport, you have not crossed the immigration, you are not in American territory.
So what should the government do in this case?
The government should intervene. The government should find out why it is so and then let them spell out what their new immigration policy is.
All right. Dele Agekama is a journalist and a newspaper columnist as well. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you.
We'll be back in a moment. Don't go away.